Good morning. We're going to have a wonderful day of teaching and learning. Let's get started with our morning announcement. Make it a great day.
Good morning, Scenic Hills Elementary students and staff. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for the Bobcat affirmation. Bobcat information. Bobcats are powerful. I think positively. I take ownership for my actions. I make wise choices. I'm excited about new learning. I will reach my goals. I forget others and myself. I understand the differences. I'm a leader. I'm a Bobcat. You may be seated for a moment of silence.
Now, every day, all of the Bobcats within our Scenic Hills School should strive to display our foundational values. In order to do this, you must think about the 3R approach, which is to be respectful, be responsible, and to always be ready to learn. Bobcat Scholars, today we are going to talk about the 3R approach for field trips, or whenever you are riding a bus. For some of us, this will be the very first time that we get on one of our yellow school buses. And so I want to talk to you about what it looks like to be ready. To be ready when you are getting ready to get on a bus, and when you're on a bus, you must remember that you stand in a line. One person enters the bus at a time, and when you get on the bus, once you get in your seat, you don't get up until you get to our destination. So never stand up while the bus is moving, because if the bus driver has to stop suddenly, you could get hurt. So we want to stay in our seats at all times. To be responsible on the bus, we want to make sure it is graffiti free. So that means that if you drop something, you pick it up. We don't write on the seats, the back of the seats, the bottom of the seats, none of those things. We like to keep everything very clean. And you're paying attention because you're watching to see when we get to our destination, so that you will be able to hear the instructions for getting off of the bus. And lastly, and most importantly, you must be respectful by following the directions of the bus driver and any other adult who is on the bus. So you might be asking yourself, in order to do all of these things, what zone should we be using to speak in? When you are on a bus, you should always be on Bobcat Zone 1. Bobcat Zone 1. Do you remember what Bobcat Zone 1 is? Let's take a look at our voice level chart. Of course, we know that Bobcat Zone 0 is when we are completely silent and we are not talking at all. So whenever you hear an adult say Bobcat Zone 0, which you often hear the first 5 minutes and the last 5 minutes of lunch, we're almost always on Bobcat Zone 0 so that we can get everything in order and be ready to leave. Bobcat Zone 1 is a whisper voice. That's partner talk. So when you are talking to the person that's sitting next to you, no one else should be able to hear your conversation. That is your whisper voice or your partner talk. Now this is different from Bobcat Zone 2, which of course is your normal talk. Like this is Miss White's normal voice. But if I was going to use my whisper voice, I would be kind of quiet so that nobody could hear me. Only the person that is right beside me would be able to hear me if I was using my whisper voice. And of course, our third zone, of course, is Bobcat Zone 3. That's our play voice. That's your recess voice. So remember, we have our recess voice, we have our normal voice, we have our whisper voice, and then we have our silent voice. On the bus, we're using our whisper voice, our partner talk, so that you will be able to hear your teacher without them having to raise their voice. Can you believe it? We are just one day away from our next Bobcat Bonanza, which will take place on tomorrow, Friday, November the 18th. Remember, we are going to see Junie B. Jones and going to take over a restaurant. Now remember, you still have to get there. Make sure that you are following the 3R approach. On the screen today, we are featuring our grade 4 scholars. Look at this line. We look at their feet. They are standing in their blocks. They are facing the front. This is an example of what it means to be ready, respectful, and responsible when you are in the hallway. Now, scholars, when we take this field trip tomorrow, when we get off the bus, this is what our lines should look like. We should be silent so that we can hear the directions, because when we get to our destination, we will need to move quickly so that we can get in our seats and not miss one moment of our program. So, teachers, please spend a little time talking to scholars about what it looks like to be ready on a field trip. For many of us, this will be our very first field trip for this school year. And I just don't know if they do this at other schools. We are taking 90% of our scholars with us. Teachers, that will be a lot of students for us to navigate into a theater quickly, quietly, so that we can make sure that everybody is ready before the show starts. I appreciate your help with this. And scholars, I can't wait for us to get on the buses tomorrow and go to this field trip. I don't know about you, but I am super excited. And scholars, just one more thing. When you see Miss Wheeler, our financial secretary, make sure that you thank her. She has been making sure that everything is taken care of for us. She ordered the bus. She has called the theater to make sure that everything is in place. We couldn't have made this Bobcat Bonanza possible without her. So scholars, when you see her in the morning, you might not see her today, but when you see her in the morning, be sure to tell her thank you. Our school-wide events and activities. Scholars, this is just a reminder that you should be at 260 minutes if you're in pre-K through 2 and 350 minutes if you are in grades 3 through 5. We only have 2 more weeks left in our Memphis Hustle Reading Club. I can't wait to receive the logs from our scholars because we have some great prizes available. Next up, I want to thank all of our Bobcat scholars who reminded their parents to come to our Data and Dine, formerly known as our Family Data Night, on yesterday. Remember, scholars, your parents had the option to attend virtually. They could also come in person. And those who came in person, as you can see on the screen, they enjoyed our refreshments. We had hot wings and they were delicious. Thanks to Ms. Colburn for supplying the refreshments for our Data and Dine. We truly appreciate you. Teachers and scholars, I want to thank you for participating in our pre-K through 5 community project. Remember, this project is for every class to create a tile to be displayed on the ceiling of our cafeteria. We want to thank our plant manager, Mr. Smith, for creating this project for us to participate in. Remember that once we get all of the winning tiles, they will be judged, and the class who receives the most votes for their tile will receive a pizza party. Will your class be receiving a pizza party? I would love to be eating pizza. Make sure that you are doing your best work as your class completes these tiles. In our school-wide events and activities, teachers and scholars, this is a reminder. Every scholar should have taken the student perception survey. This survey is located on the home screen when students log in through Clever. The district's goal, of course, is to be at 95%. We are currently not meeting this threshold. I know that if we prioritize this today, so teachers, if your scholars have not taken the student perception survey, please complete it as soon as your class finishes with the morning announcements. We won't have a lot of time to get this done on tomorrow, so today is the deadline for our scholars to complete these surveys. Scholars, be sure to remind your parents that we will be out of school on next week in observance of the Thanksgiving holiday. So just remind them, if you need to, just point them, tell them to log into YouTube and look up our school's morning announcements, and they will be able to see this information for themselves. We don't have any birthdays today, but tomorrow, maybe we'll have a birthday or two. See you soon. Students in the spotlight. Today we are shining a light on Miss K's grade 2 class who were caught building their brilliance. The E is like the A when the E is by its side. Picture Day Spotlight. Today we are featuring the scholars in Miss Fleming's class. Don't they look fabulous? Remember, scholars, if you were present on Picture Day, you will see yourself soon.
3GC Literacy Pledge. I promise to read each day and each night. I know it's the key to grow up right. I I read to myself, I read to the crowd. It makes no difference if silent or loud. I read at my desk, at home, and at school, on a beanbag or bed, by a fire or pool. Each book that I read puts smarts in my head, because rain grows more thoughts, the more they are fed. Come rain or come shine, snow, wind, or sleet, each day of the week, reading's a treat. So I take this pledge to make reading my way, and feed my brain what it needs every day. By Deborah Angus.
In today's classroom spotlight, we are shining a light on some of our grade 3 scholars, specifically our grade 3 scholars in Dr. Rucker's class. This class is being spotlighted because they were ready to learn yesterday during reading class. On the screen, you will see just 2 examples of what I saw when I walked around the room. Now, these scholars were reading their text entitled The Seaside Surprises. But I saw something a little different as I walked around this class that I haven't been seeing in some of the other classes. Students underlined or circled words that they did not know the meaning of. Unfamiliar words. They circled them, they underlined them, and then as a class, they talked about what these words meant. They looked for the context clues around the words in the sentence before, the sentence after, the sentence within the word, and they were breaking this unfamiliar vocabulary down using all of the information that the author was giving to make sure that they understood what these words meant. This is a super spotlight. We hope to see more scholars annotating their text like this sometime soon. All right, scholars, it is time for our hard facts. Now, we are going to mix it up today. We have been doing multiplication facts, but today you must be ready. Today, we will be doing addition, subtraction, and multiplication facts. So make sure you are paying close attention. Are you ready? Let's get started. All right, scholars, are you ready? Just a reminder that you have 3 seconds and 3 seconds only to answer these addition, subtraction, and multiplication facts. Pay close attention. Let's go. 16 plus 61. 77. Did you locate the pattern in today's addition problem? Do you see that in your ones column, in the ones column, we have a 6 plus a 1, and then in the tens column, we have a 1 plus a 6. Scholars, make sure that you look for patterns in those numbers so that you will be able to calculate these answers quickly and correctly. 8 times 5. 40. Raise your hand if you got this multiplication fact correct. Awesome job. 71 minus 9. 62. Now, scholars, is that correct? Let's check using the counting back strategy. Let's put the big number 71 in our head and let's count backwards 9. Ready, go. 70, 69, 68, 67, 66, 65, 64, 63, 62. Thank you, scholars, for helping me to check my work. Kiss your brain because You have helped to make sure that I remember to check my work. Make sure that you are using the counting back strategy to help you to solve math problems quicker. 21 minus 9. 22. Is that correct? Let's use our counting back strategy to check my work. Let's put that big number in our head. 21, and let's count backwards 9 spaces. Ready, go. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. Uh-oh. Do you see what I did? Do you see where I went wrong? Now, it looks like I correctly subtracted 11 minus 9, but what didn't I do? I forgot that I borrowed 10 from that 2, which meant that there was only one set of 10 left over, so the correct answer is 12. 290 plus 103. 393. Were you able to solve this 3-digit addition problem? Remember, when you are solving these problems, you want to do the ones column first, that's 0 plus 3, which is equal to 3. The tens column next, which is 9 plus 0, which is equal to 9. And then the hundreds column, which is 2 plus 1 and equal to 3. That makes our answer 393. Give yourselves a pat on the back because today you worked hard to build your brilliance in math, and I couldn't be prouder of you. All right, scholars, it is that time of the month where we announce our VIP scholars for the month. Are you one of the scholars who was nominated for following the 3R approach every day during the month of September? Have you been setting an example for your classmates? If you have, your name might be announced. From Mrs. Edwards' pre-K class, our VIP spotlighted scholars are Ace Russell and Chloe Mason. Congratulations. In grade K, Miss Dickens' class, our 2 VIP scholars of the month are Halo Humes and Canyon Rister. In grade 1, Miss Jeans' class, our VIP scholars for the month of October are Jonathan Boyd and Malia Thornton. Thank you, Jonathan and Malia, for being examples for your class to follow. And in grade 2, Miss Ford's class, we have Elisha Boyce and Amir Sales as our October VIP Spotlight students. In grade 4, Miss Fleming's class, our 2 VIP Spotlighted scholars are Olivia Cooks and Zyla Mickens. Last set of spotlighted scholars for today are from grade 5, Mrs. Jones's homeroom. Our VIP spotlight scholar is Miguel Nahara. Tomorrow, teachers and scholars, we will have our last group of VIP scholars for the month of October. If you have not submitted your name, tomorrow is the last day for us to spotlight our VIP Scholars of the Month in all classrooms. Scholars, today's national holiday is entitled Use Less Stuff Day. Now, in the month of November, on the third Thursday, it is always National Use Less Stuff Day. This is a day that reminds us that we need to be conscious of what we are using and what we are doing, and helps us to remember that we should clean up our areas daily. That means you make sure your desk is clean. You make sure the area around the floor by your desk is clean. You could clean out your backpack. You can also clean out your locker. Those are just a few ways that you could use less stuff on today. Teachers, please allow our scholars to clean up their areas, the areas that they're in the most, so that we can make sure that our school shines bright when we have visits, when we are in the room working, when our parents come to visit as they did on yesterday, when we have visitors to come and visit our spaces. We want to make sure that everything is in the right place so that we can make sure that our school is always seen in a positive light. Today's read aloud is entitled Izzy, Gizmo. Your guiding thoughts while you listen to this story is that Izzy loves fixing and mending things. So what do you think will happen when she meets a bird who needs her help? Today's read aloud, teachers, is only 5 minutes and 1 second long. 5 minutes and 1 second long. Teachers, today we have a bonus. So scholars, the name of our bonus read aloud is Fangsgiving. Fangsgiving. What do you think this story will be about? As you listen to today's story, think about this guiding question. Can this monster-filled family come together to celebrate what the holiday is truly about? Today's read aloud is 5 minutes and 16 seconds long. So teachers, today we need you to carve out about 11 minutes for both of our read aloud stories today. Enjoy, scholars. Remember, every day we're building brilliant Bobcats because we are raising the bar by believing in ourselves, achieving our goals, and reimagining our future.
Together we must believe. Together we will achieve. Together we will imagine 901. How for taught today or teacher learning.